What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to stay up to date with Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn the notification bell on if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. If you did not know, this is going to be another pre-recorded video. I will be back making a video. Wednesday night will be the next time. So if there is any sort of Ravens news that comes out, unless I've made a YouTube short, which is unlikely, I don't think I'm going to have very good internet where I'm going. I will have that update video out on Wednesday night. So Lamar extension, anything like that, trades, whatever. If something happens, it'll happen then. And before that happens, it'll be 2 more pre-recorded videos. Today's Monday. Tomorrow will be Tuesday's video, and then we will be set. And after that gets all set, I will just remind y'all that on Saturday, it will be the Ravens' first preseason game, and I will be doing the first of what I will likely be doing for every single game of the season, which is stream 1 hour before the game. So this game is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. So I will start streaming at 6 p.m., answer any questions that y'all have about matchups, Ravens roster, who will get playing snaps, all those types of things. I'll talk about all that. And then right after the game, right when it ends, I'll be going live for about an hour. If it lasts longer, totally okay. Answering any questions you have about analyzing, hey, this player didn't play a lot. What did you think about that? All those types of things I will talk about, analyzing, the Ravens players and everything like that. So any questions you have before and after the game, I will answer all of them on stream. So just come back to this YouTube channel right before the game, right after the game, and we will do that there. Getting into this video, this is an interesting one because this is a player that I think a lot of Ravens fans have really started to, I don't know if fall in love with is the right word, but he's probably been the most surprising offensive player in Ravens training camp so far. Obviously we had such high hopes for Rashad Bateman. He's living up to expectations. Overall, a lot of guys are playing very well. James Prochet playing very well. Devin Duvernay, solid. Sammy Watkins balling out. We haven't seen a lot of Lamar Jackson. He came back today, as I'm recording this today. So, I don't know a ton about him, but overall, I think the biggest name of guys that has been surprising has been Deon Cain, the wide receiver out of Clemson, who was formerly with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. And he's been playing very well. And he's had, some big, massive catches over Marlon Humphrey. He's just done very, very well, making a lot of big plays. But the Ravens wide receiver group is very, very good, which is not something that I maybe ever even thought I'd ever be able to say. But the back end of this, Ravens depth chart is going to be difficult to make, especially at the wide receiver spot. So let's talk about what are the odds of Deon Cain actually being able to make the roster. And before I even give my opinion, I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below on Deon Cain. Should he make the roster? Could he make the roster? If he did, who would he be taking out? Because I'm going to go through right now players that I think are locks to make the roster. And I'm going to say it's going to be Hollywood, Watkins, Bateman, Duvernay, Tylan Wallace. I think they're all locks. Based on what we've seen in training camp and everything like that, I'm willing to throw James Prochet in there at 6. I don't have 6 fingers, so I'm doing it like that. So that's 6 players. And a lot of people are thinking that the Ravens will have 6 wide receivers because, they don't throw the ball a ton. However, I will bring up that there is a possibility that the Ravens do keep 7 wide receivers on the roster. Now, why this could be is because, remember, I don't expect the Ravens to be keeping 3 quarterbacks like they have in previous years. And they haven't gone after any sort of running backs to make it have a 4 running back group, because in recent years, there's been 4 running backs. It's been Mark Ingram, or last year it was Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and Justice Hill. We lost Mark Ingram. We didn't seem to replace him unless a player is able to make it. I like Nate McCrary. However, haven't heard a lot of news about him, so it's unlikely that he makes the team based on what we know right now. So, we're gaining a spot at the, running back, and we're gaining a spot through the backup quarterback spot. So maybe one of those extra spaces could be used on a wide receiver and maybe keep 7. If we keep 7, though, Miles Boykin, how is that going to work? It's a very, very intriguing spot because I think the Ravens really like Miles Boykin. I know Ravens fans, we are not. There's very few Ravens fans that are still like massive believers in Miles Boykin. I don't want to give up on him, but at the same time, I'm kind of giving up on him. It's just one of those situations where I think he has a great future in the NFL if he gets to a spot that can utilize him. But him sitting at the back of our roster is not going to be benefiting him, and it's not going to be benefiting the Ravens. The only reason he would be on the roster if he's there would be to have a good blocking wide receiver that the Ravens could put in certain situations. However, that's the extent of what he could do. Deon Cain is showing that he has a willingness to make contested catches, some difficult catches, and that's something that the Ravens have needed out of their wide receivers in recent years. Now, we will see what Rashad Bateman can do in the NFL. They drafted Tyler Wallace. He was the best jump ball wide receiver, the best 50-50 ball wide receiver in college football in his career. I believe he had 45 or 47 contested catches made in his career at Oklahoma State. The Ravens had a priority of making difficult catches. Why? Because they've dealt with drops. They've dealt with wide receivers not being able to get separation. And if you can't get separation, you got to be able to make the difficult catches. Deon Cain is showing that he's being able to make those difficult catches. And I'll go through a little bit of his career. Drafted in the 6th round by the Indianapolis Colts. He ended up getting over to Pittsburgh and in Indianapolis. He had 3 games started for 52 receiving yards. He played in 7 total games in Pittsburgh. In 2019, he played in 6 games, started 3, had 72 receiving yards. Big thing is the touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns in 2019. 7 touchdowns on 124 yards. So that shows exactly what I'm talking about. He makes the difficult catches. He's not making a ton of plays, getting little dink and dunk yards. He is going out there and they're like, we need to score. Who can make that tough catch? And they were throwing it up for Deon Cain. In 2019, if you do remember, that was the Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It wasn't Big Ben. So they didn't have Chase Claypool or anything like that. It was Juju was injured in and out. James Washington was kind of the number 1 wide receiver for them that year. James Washington, interesting enough, just requested a trade out of Pittsburgh, but is a good contested catch maker. So it shows some benefits that he has been a guy that has been able to score touchdowns at the wide receiver spot, because Ravens wide receivers don't get a ton of yards, but they do get touchdowns. That's just what the Ravens offense is built on. Rush for the yardage, pass for the touchdowns. That's seemingly what it's been under Lamar Jackson. I don't have any problems with that. In 2020, he played in Pittsburgh, only played in 2 games, didn't have any catches, didn't have any targets. That's not surprising considering they had Deontay pretty much the whole year. They had Chase Claypool and they had Juju for the whole year. So, and then James Washington was wide receiver 4. So not a lot of opportunity in Pittsburgh. However, he could maybe be a back-end roster guy for the Ravens, and I wouldn't be upset with that. If he was wide receiver 7, I would rather have him than Miles Boykin. And that's no disrespect to Miles Boykin. Like I said, I think Miles Boykin could have a future in the NFL. I don't think he's a done. I don't think he's a bust. I just think that the Ravens is a difficult fit for him. But Deon Cain has been able to show that he can make plays. He's got a good work ethic. And he's done it before in the NFL. Miles Boykin yet to prove it. He's had a couple of games where you're like, yes, this is the guy. For example, the Seattle game when he made that big catch. I believe on the Ravens' first drive of the game. Made a big catch, 52 yards, I want to say it was. And it was like, this is the Miles Boykin that we drafted. This is the one that we need. We never see him, unfortunately. And I think that means that if we are to go with 7 wide receivers, Deon Cain could probably be that guy. And I would be happy with that. And I would be happy for Deon Cain. So I do think that there's a chance that Deon Cain ends up making the roster. I think that there's a chance that the Ravens don't keep 6 wide receivers like everybody is expecting them to do. But that's my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Deon Cain, if he can make the roster. If he makes the roster, who should he take out? If you think it's going to be 6 wide receivers and he knocks out Prochet, let us know. Let us know why. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for Daily Ravens content. Come back Wednesday to see if there's any sort of update on news or anything like that, and I'll give the update then. But thank you, everybody, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.